Hello and welcome to MetalVice in 666. I'm one of your hosts, Brian, joined with your other host,
Karen.
And we're going to do another Karen's Pick today.
Karen's Pick.
It's been a while since we've done one of these.
Yes. Wait, has it been a long time since we recorded one or since we posted
Both.
one? Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure
Okay.
both. Well, maybe not. I can't remember. I don't
I
remember
don't
what
know.
the last one is. I don't remember what number this is in the Karen's Pick order. But
No clue.
if you haven't joined us or you don't know what a Karen's Pick is, why don't you explain what it is, sort of the concept behind it?
Sure. We like to go to record stores and pick up albums. And I had an idea once, I think when we were in Milwaukee, to try to find an album $10 or under, which we found is very almost impossible now.
It depends on where you go for sure.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can easily do it. Like in Milwaukee, I think you can find some pretty
Yeah.
cheap around that.
I should say album that's metal themed-ish
Yep.
in some way. Because I know you can buy like the dollar albums that are like in the boxes below. But and then we listen to it and we do a podcast on it.
And you also try to like find somebody you don't know.
Oh yeah, somebody that I don't know, and generally I go off of like album art or the name or
Yep.
something. Yeah,
We found some like really cool shit.
We have,
doing
yeah.
it that way.
yeah,
And some other stuff that's just okay.
yeah.
So let's start the timer and dive into this one and see where this falls in. Okay, so who do we have this time?
I believe it's Reaping Asmodeia,
Yeah, and it's the Darkend Infinity album.
which is their newest album. I found out from Google.
Yeah, I think I think you told me that right when we started this.
Yeah.
That was their newest album.
Came out in 2021.
I think we got this in Iowa City at that record collector downtown.
Yes, I believe so.
And I can't remember what you paid, but I think it was like that 15 to 20 range for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. It's hard at that store to find anything that's
Yeah.
around $10.
But it was definitely under that threshold that you wanted. And maybe this is when we started like, all right, we need to up this a little bit. But in any case, sub $20 for this album. It's also signed,
It
which
is,
is
yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, yeah.
And the vinyl itself is like this really cool pressing of this black and red sort of marbly sort of pressing that I really like the coloring. Yeah,
I like how you said that.
I was trying to come up with something better, but I couldn't do it. Any case, I like the pressing. I like the album cover. Really cool with like the skeleton or the Grim Reaper, but he's got horns like devil horns.
Yeah, Devil Grim Reaper, yeah.
But he's got like the cloak of the Grim Reaper coming out and grabbing the name. It looks like, but there's like a sun and like this lava lake coming down the middle. It's a really cool album art, and the fact that it's signed is really cool as well.
Yeah.
I don't really care for signed stuff. Like it's not something like, oh my god, I have to get it because it's signed. But
Right.
if it's signed,
Yeah.
and you're getting it, it's just an added bonus.
Yeah,
I think.
I agree. I'm not like oh my God, I have to have this.
But I listened to this the other day. We didn't listen to this on vinyl together like we typically did. But we did listen to it later. But we listened to it on our own. We tried something a little different this time around, where we listened to it on our own several times on Spotify, as well as once on vinyl when we were just sort of cooking dinner and cleaning up and whatnot around the house. What were your initial thoughts listening to it?
I liked it a lot.
I knew you would when I heard it.
Yeah, definitely deathcore metal, or like has that sound like the deathcore sound. When the first song, I was like kind of disappointed that I didn't see them live before checking out their music, because I really like doing that. I like to see a band live before hearing it.
But you also hate that at the same
I
time.
do hate
we
it.
go
I
over
do.
that
I
all
know.
the time.
I know, but this is definitely a time where I'm like, if I would have seen their live show, I would have probably fallen in love with them like right away.
And we would have gone to the merch and bought this album there from
Oh, of
their
course,
merch
yeah.
table for like
Yeah.
$35-$40
Plus
at
a
the
shirt
merch.
and
Yeah,
something
exactly.
else, yeah. Which is a good thing, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, but at this time we happened to listen to it on Spotify and vinyl first, and I still really, really enjoyed it. It has. I was trying to think of a band to compare it to, and it's deathcore sound, so there's lots of bands that sound like it. So I didn't want to pick like one band to have that sound.
Yeah, the first time I listened to it was definitely in like a passive capacity, right? Like I turned it on while I was working, so I was definitely getting distracted at times. And when I would pick up and start focusing on it again, it was definitely during those death metal or deathcore aspects or sounds, and it's like I was like, this sucks. I don't like this. It sounds just like every other goddamn metalcore, deathcore band out there. Like, it's not unique. It's not a like unique sound. It's not their own sound. It's just the same shit repeated over and over, and it's very repetitive. Some of the guitar riffs and the drum beats is just boom, like it's repetitive and repetitive and repetitive for the songs, and I did not like it at all. But I wanted to give it a second chance. So when I was out and about, when I can focus on it a little bit more, I re-listened to the album starting from the beginning. And that first time I listened to it, there were elements I really did like that first song where it's just all instrumentals and leading into like the second song, which has vocals and whatnot.
Yeah.
I loved that instrumental part. And then those are sprinkled throughout the album of just a minute-long track, which is instrumentals, which lead into the next song. I really like that. There were also some songs, what was one of them? Switching Shadows was one, where when that finally came on, I was like, the first time listening to it, I was like, I do like this. This sounds good, because it would go, like the tempo would change and the guitar riffs would change throughout it. The first time I listened to it, that second half of the album, I definitely enjoyed more than the first half. However, that second time I listened to it, like I was talking about, where I could focus on it a lot more, I actually loved it so much more.
That's good.
But then when we listened to it together on vinyl later that evening, again in a passive capacity, I did not like it again, because I was only joining back into like the metalcore, and I didn't follow the journey on how we got to that part in the song, like the structure of the song, how it led there.
Yeah.
So that was one thought I had, is I go back and forth. I liked it, and then I hated it, and then I like it, then I hate it.
I think it's almost the same when I hear thrash metal. To me, I'm like, oh, it's just guitar riffs. Like, again, the guitar riffs. Again, the guitar riffs. So I have the same thought when it's thrash. I mean, I like thrash metal, but a lot of times it's that same, like what you were saying, like it's the repetitive, like, okay, here's the guitar solo that we're going to do. It's going to be 3 minutes long, blah, blah, blah. But
there are no guitar solos here, really.
Not like.
But not like
solo.
thrash metal, where it's like, it's sort of baked into the structure of the song.
Yes, exactly.
Sorry.
No, what I was going to say after complaining about thrash metal was I really liked how some of their songs, and I've picked this up on a lot of other bands I listen to as well, it does have that deathcore sound, and like I get what you're saying, where a lot of the songs do sound the same, or the overall like sound of the band sounds similar, but I've been able to pick up on, and sorry, I didn't look, I was walking with my phone in my pocket, so I didn't look at any of the songs, but when there are moments where it's like, oh, this drum is different, or it tings different, or, you know, like, oh, you could pick up the bass, or you can pick up, you know, like there's other things. And I've really caught that on other bands. I've only listened to this one like 3 times, but I've caught that on other bands where it's like, oh, this does have that sound, but you pick up on the extra, you know, bass ting or you know, something like that.
Yeah, it's definitely like the high-pitched guitar riffs and some of the drum as well, but also the vocals for me like define sort of the metalcore, and I think it's the vocals that really turn me off the most. This was definitely similar, where the vocals sort of like, I don't like this, at least in that like that not really paying attention sort of way of listening to it. But when I was actively listening to it, the vocals didn't annoy me as much, and I actually kind of enjoyed how they fit in.
The music part,
we're at time though, but I'm not sure where I fall on this. I like it and I don't like it, like I said earlier. But I listened to it and I was like, you're going to fucking love this. I got a feeling.
You knew right away.
Yeah.
You listened to it before I did. So
I did,
Yeah. I am ready to see them tour around here.
I'll definitely go check it out. Yeah, it's going to be an awesome show.
It'll be a good show.
Like I said, I loved the instrumental aspects and the change in tempo and the change of tone within a song. That I really liked.
Yeah.
So
I think they have a couple other albums. I kind of want to check it out, or check out their other stuff too.
Definitely we checking them out. But all in all, this definitely falls closer toward the top of my list in terms of ones we picked up. Yeah, for sure. Not in the bottom, not in the middle. Somewhere between the middle to
maybe
top.
After we do like, how many of these have we done? Well, you don't remember.
I think this is like 7 or 8.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say after like 10, do a 666 on like ranking the first 10 or something.
I mean, we have a whole stack of other ones we
haven't looked at just yet. So
I know.
But yeah, all in all, this was a good one. I liked it.
It was good. Good pickup.
But anyway, this is what we get for just going out and finding new music and exploring. So do the same. There's a lot out there, and you'll find shit you like, you'll find shit you don't like, and you don't know until you explore. So see ya.
Bye.